Hello and welcome to this demo of Caseboard. My name is Chris Mills and I'm the CTO, and I want to walk you through a product demo. To start, we are at a blank board where we're going to add a new case. Whenever you bring a new case file in, you go through the process of defining the case framing objectives and other important areas that you want to focus on. And for this example, we're going to use a popular case called staircase. If you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of Netflix documentaries and shows on this particular case. One of the things that's important to do is really define your objectives to the case, what it is that you're trying to do. And so in this one, we want to say maybe establish whether a specific event occurred and resolve contradictions in the record. You can add all of your own custom objectives as well. And then the priority areas of what you want to focus on. And so here we might say evidence strength and key actors. And then the focus question of what it is that you're actually trying to do. So we might say is, did Michael Peterson murder his wife? From here we drop actually into the case itself, where we're presented with a context menu on the left where all of our source material and intelligence exist. And for this case, we're going to start, I've created all of the documents that are important to this case. And so when you do a bulk import, you can either use a zip file or pick from a folder. In this case, we're going to pick this staircase folder, and it's going to upload the documents. It'll show us which documents are going to come in, and we upload those documents into the case itself. Here you can see we have 100% coverage on the import that went in. Nothing was skipped or failed. When you bring in the case materials, it shows up here on the left, and so we can actually see the different documents that were updated within those. Once the documents are uploaded, we use AI to analyze and use OCR to summarize and get the actual details for each of the documents. You'll see within the documents what the summary is. You have the ability to load, load the original file if you want to look at that. And then once all of the actual files have been uploaded into the system, you will run an AI analysis, which goes through a 4-step process of kind of outlining what the key findings are, doing intelligence checks, which we'll see, identify different red flags, and create tasks that are associated with that. And so once you run the intelligence check, you'll actually see key findings that will pop up that are all source driven, so that you can see which sources they're tied to. From there you can actually talk to, missing in this case, you can talk to an AI system to ask any sort of questions that you want to know about the particular case. In additions, in the intelligence tab, it automatically extracts all of the key details, and so this is an example of all the people. I can click on Michael Peterson, for example. You'll see a summary of the information. You'll see all the linked transactions of different things that have happened, all the people that are linked and why they're linked, the different entities that are there, and where all of the source material is coming from. You can add notes to any of these. All of this stuff becomes part of the case that you're building to try to come to some ultimate conclusion. Get an example of the different companies that are involved and organizations involved, all the transactions that are tied. For example, it shows there was a $300,000 bail was placed on this particular case on December 14th, 2011. It breaks out red flags so that we can see kind of what are the things that we need to focus on, and then also identifies missing evidence, things that the case needs to be a little bit stronger. And so from in here, you end up building kind of all of your sources, your intelligence. You have live case chat systems so that you can talk about it. And then with that, it actually creates a task-based system based off what needs to be done. So you can create new tasks that get assigned to different people that are within the case. These are broken up into both human and AI tasks. And so the AI task will be different things that it thinks that needs to happen to help strengthen the case. For example, it might say reconstruct a full case timeline. And so when we do that, we'll actually run a case timeline. On the right-hand side of the screen are all the different tools. There are a bunch of different tools within Caseboard. I'm just going to highlight a few of them today. Reports as an example, based off of the case material, it recommends what kind of reports should be created and ran. There's also a bunch of standardized reports and create your own reports. And so when we run these different reports, they're all source driven, create exportable PDFs, and also information that can be added into the case. There's an infographic tool. So if you want to kind of see everything visually, there's a bunch of different visual styles and detail levels, and we're using several different image models when we create that. The timeline tool that you saw from the task is an important thing to really put in order the different things that have happened in the case. There is a source checker, which brings information based off the source, and the idea of the source checker is, in this case, we brought in our own internal documents that we upload in the beginning, but we might want to strengthen the case with more external documents based off of things that are happening. And so here we can look at things that have been picked up. For example, this blood pattern analysis, might be something that there is details out there that could help us determine the legitimacy of that. And so you can run these different tools. And so as the tools are running, you actually come in here and we can see the timeline, for example. So this shows December 9, 2001 is when the decedent was found dead. So we can click on that and actually get these information. And so this, builds an entire timeline based off the case materials. All of this can be downloaded as a PDF, and you also can add it as a source to the case itself. So if you found this to be important and you wanted to add a new source, you'll see right here that it added it into the case material from timeline, and it actually will create a PDF version of that file. In addition, we have things like the infographic that we talked about that'll show timeline of events, more visual appeal of what's going on. The reports will give a detailed report in here that we ran earlier, and it's all source driven. And then the source checker will have the ability to take external sources based off the information that we were looking at. We have the ability to bring these actually in as a source or as knowledge, depending on what we want to do based off these external links to help strengthen our case. Ultimately, there's a goal for the case, and the idea is to get the case completeness up to 100%. And so it's done based off of these tasks. So we have tasks that were put in the system that haven't been done, resolving all the red flags, and then providing all the missing evidence. And once all of these things are done, the case confidence goes up. And then there's actually a case status report that can be ran that will tell you where the case is overall. We have integrated AI voice models in here that you can specifically just talk to an AI model about the case if you want to. There's case management memory, and there's all sorts of other tools that are on here. So this is just a quick review of Caseboard and some of the features that we have. We hope that you enjoy what we've shown here. If you have any questions or comments or want to try some things out, we encourage you to do so. We're definitely looking forward to feedback. So thank you.